All right. We are live. What's going on, YouTube? Top Networkers Group in the building. For those who are new, again, like and subscribe now that you're here. I'm about to get into it. For those that have been following me for quite some time, I do apologize. I haven't been making videos as frequently as I used to. I've been kind of moving around a little bit. Again, if you follow the channel, you know this has always been a business channel. And so the main thing I talk about here on this channel is business and business related topics. But I do dive into other topics that tie into business, such as race, how race and racism impact business. I talk about traditional business. I talk about MLM. So, again, if you're brand new to my channel, if you've never seen me talk about stuff, feel free to look through the archives. I got a bunch of stuff on here. And like I was saying, I talk business. And so therefore, that includes MLM, regardless of how people may feel about MLM. But I'm gonna get into one of the major um, negatives, if you will, that make MLM so hard for people, and it's one of the big reasons, one of the big contributing factors to the negative outlook so many folks have when it comes to multi-level marketing. And again, MLM is a business model. It always annoys me when people try to belittle MLM. They say, oh, that's not really your business. You don't actually own that company. You don't really own those products. That's true. That's true. But what you do own is what you build within that company. That's yours. That belongs to you. And at the same time, if that company shuts down, if that company goes out of business, everything you built within that company goes away, which is very similar to traditional business. If you opened up a coffee shop and you sell coffee in that coffee shop, if you go out of business, you're no longer going to be making money from that coffee shop. I mean, that's pretty simple. And yet, there are so many people out there who've never owned a business, who work a job, a 9 to 5, but they always got something slick to say about people who are in MLM. And that's unfortunate, but it's also comes with territory. If you want to be successful, you have to learn how to push through that type of ignorance and negativity that's in the world. That being said, MLM is very much a partnership type of business. You're not in business for yourself. And that's one of the famous sayings about MLM, because it's true. You are not in business by yourself. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And what that simply means is that you have help, you have business partners. You don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to bottle every order. You don't have to package every order. You don't have to handle shipping, and you don't have to get into some of the minutia that comes with traditional business ownership. Okay, when you actually own a business, when you own a company, when you produce a product, you wear a lot more hats than you do when you're in an MLM, when you're an affiliate, when you're a representative, when you're a distributor for an MLM company. There's a lot more work involved. And again, this is why I kind of like, when people are negative and say, oh, you don't really own that business, it's so ignorant. Because, there are so many reasons why a person may want to start out in an MLM over traditional business ownership, not to mention the expenses that come with traditional business ownership, or again, the amount of time you really have to put in when it's yours, when you own it. There's nobody that you can point at for the success or especially for the failure of that business that you own outright. And so it's much tougher for a person who's never owned a business in their life, which is most of us. Most of us work jobs, and then one day we get tired of how the boss treats us. We get tired of the commute. We get tired of all the things that come with having to work for somebody else, not having that time freedom, not being able to get certain days off. There's so many things that eventually move people to a point where they decide, you know what? I need to start my own business. And yet, even though a lot of people start businesses, there's a reason why almost 95% of businesses fail. And it's a big reason why a lot of people don't succeed in MLM as well. And that reason is bad business partners. Now I want to deal with this because, there's a saying that if you're always having the same kind of problem with people, then the problem may be you and not other people. I've taken that to heart. I really meditated on it because I've had the same problem with a whole lot of people, and I decided, I've even made videos about it. I think it really is me. It is me, but it's also the other people, you guys. In my situation, I can't speak for you watching the video right now. I don't know you. I don't know what kind of work ethic you have. I don't know what type of commitment you have to the things that you do. I don't know what kind of professional approach you take to the things that you do. So I can't speak for you. I can speak for me though, and that's my problem. My problem is I'm such a professional. It's hard for me to find other people that are like me. And other people who struggle with MLM, this happens to be their struggle as well. They're struggling to find people who are as committed as they are, who are as professional. I don't want this to come off to sound like I'm crying or complaining. I'm really just sharing this because there may be somebody else out there maybe dealing with similar things. And I just want to reassure you that maybe it's not you. Maybe it really is the other people. I mean, it's a combination. It's you and them. It's the way so many people are in our society. And it's beyond my control. I can't do anything about this. But so many people are lazy. They're immoral. They have no scruples about them. So many people quit so easy. The smallest thing, people just quit. And it's frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It is very frustrating to attempt to build businesses and constantly run into the same problems because you partner up with people who don't treat the business as seriously as you do. And like I said, this happens in traditional businesses as well. There are tons of traditional businesses that aren't doing as well as they could be doing because one or more of the partners isn't pulling their weight. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They take 4 and 5 days to do what should have been done in 1 day. They take a week or 2 weeks to do what should have been done in 2 or 3 days. And they're constantly holding up progress, or they miss important meetings. So therefore, you can't advance business ideas, and you can't, move on to the next part of a project because you're held up waiting on your business partner who has a million excuses, things they need to do in their business, or they prioritize everything else in life over. When this continues to happen over and over, I'm wondering, what is it about me? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Part of this is me venting here today. I'm wondering, what is it about me that continues to attract so many bad business partners? Listen, I've talked to you guys on this channel about Top Networkers Group and why I started it. And again, I'm not trying to make this come off like a complaint. And I'm just going to be real. I know sometimes if you've heard this before, you may not want to hear it again. I understand that. But you really, I really want people to get where I was coming from when I would get really into the woods on it and really talk about it. I was in MLM that went out of business. This is one of the reasons that I talk so much about the possibility of MLMs going out of business, because it happens all the time. I was in an MLM that went out of business, and again, the unfortunate reality is I had some bad business partners. I had some unscrupulous business partners. One of my frontline people who I recruited was a truck driver, and he worked a ton of hours, was very busy. So me and my business partner at the time, we told him, look, don't worry, we got you. That's what a team is here for. This is why we say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We were on standby to help him close his leads. We just needed him to put the ads out, to put the work out. And if he was too busy to deal with everything, which he was, because as a truck driver, you're driving here and there, several hours on the road. You're not always at a computer or with internet access. And this is 2009, so we're talking about like 11 years ago. Okay, 4G wasn't out then. And so anyway, this worked. We were able to close maybe 4 or 5 people for my truck driver partner. One of those truck drivers, one of those people who signed up under him, was a truck driver as well. And this is kind of how the process worked. I was at work, I was busy. My partner was home all day. So when my truck driver, frontline leader, had a lead, we were funneling some of those leads to my business partner to help close, to help get folks started and whatnot, etc. Okay. Now, the way the structure worked, this guy was my upline. So all of this benefited everyone. Okay. Working with his 4th and 5th level. It's actually foundational network marketing stuff I'm talking to you guys about too. This is how you're supposed to build teams. It's not supposed to all fall on one person. It's supposed to be a team effort. Your upline is supposed to be involved in helping you close your money, because it helps them too. These are things you're supposed to be doing. And because we were doing this, there was a lot of faith in the team. My downline loved me. They loved what we were doing, what we were bringing, because they knew they could depend on us to help them make money. So this is going on. We're growing a nice team. We put in about 2,000 people in maybe a month and a half. And a lot of that was because me and the other guy, we both had years of experience in network marketing already. I also had years of business experience, so we knew what we were doing. At least I knew what I was doing. My partner at the time, again, I was always kind of hesitant about working with him, because in our first company, he used to do things that got on my nerves then too. I was hoping he grew out of a lot of that stuff. And unfortunately, I found out the hard way, Moorehouse men, all this nonsense. And this is why I'm not big on Moorehouse men. A lot of Moorehouse men I've met, y'all ain't about shit. I'm be honest with you. A lot of y'all ain't about shit. Y'all ain't about y'all community. I don't know what y'all on. Y'all ain't building shit. Fuck Moorehouse. So anyway, y'all about y'all, for real, y'all about y'all selves. I'm about to probably make some of y'all mad while watching, but y'all about yourselves. Y'all are not about black people. That's a problem. Because y'all do all this movement, and y'all supposed to be on the up and up and all this type of shit. Y'all supposed to be, oh, I'm proud to be a Moorehouse man, and we this and we that. What are y'all really? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So anyway, what happens is this company goes out of business. And my upline at the time, my partner, and even the cat that he was working with, who was above both of us, they went and found another company. Fuck, give me your name. Excuse me. Excuse the French. They went and found another company And they had signed up with that company. It was actually a company doing license plates. I don't know if you guys remember those kind of companies. Filing license plates and getting money for those. You know, creating a database, right? So they found this company, and when they came to me and my truck driver partner and everyone else in our collective downline that we built, all of a sudden that guy I told you about, who was also a truck driver, who we helped close, we helped bring, helped get started, etc., all of a sudden he's the top guy in this other company. He didn't all of a sudden came up above us, and we all got to now sign up under him. And my truck driver partner felt betrayed. And I understood exactly what he meant. It felt like a betrayal. You know, it felt like I'm not going to continue to work with these guys because all they're going to do is steal people for something else. And that's exactly what happened. Now, they didn't feel that way. They felt like it was okay. They weren't stealing nobody away. You know, this is just business. It's just how these things go. People don't belong to us and our downlines. All these little beliefs that they have about how MLM works. And what they weren't understanding is it's not about who belongs to who. It's about who's done the work to find people, to track people down, to bring people into an organization. And when you don't respect structure, when you don't respect process, when you don't respect people, you mess up the organization. You mess up, and that's exactly what happened. Dude messed up my entire organization. And I've watched him since go from one company to another company. A few of them he succeeded in or had some success in, because him and some of those same unscrupulous cats continue to work to get together. And things went well for them in some companies. But the majority of companies that they aligned went out of business. So any income that they would have built up, there's no long-lasting residual going from that. Okay, that's all lost. You know, any success they created in those companies went out. Those companies went out of business. And this is exactly why I built the One MLM system. And this is why I spent so many years talking on this channel about the need to build outside of companies. But again, this is an idea that most of y'all weren't ready for when I was talking about it every day and making videos constantly. Most of y'all weren't ready for that idea. And even other business partners who I had recruited along the way, again, were bad business partners. I've talked about that. Another guy, he calls his little program, what's he call it? You know, some type of knockoff of our system. Basically, I don't even remember what the guy calls it. But he also found a bunch of programs. He puts them all together and makes it mostly about building, with multiple streams. Broke man's plan or something like that. You know, that's kind of what he calls it. And it's still not up to snuff. It's still not like I said. Any success that gentleman may or may not be having, it's not translating down to the rest of the team. Because again, he's a bad business partner. He's not working within team. It's all about himself, and you guys just duplicate me and duplicate me and duplicate me. And this is a business. That's what it is. Regardless of what the naysayers may have to share, their little views or whatnot, their little negative comments, this is a business. And there are certain things you have to do to be successful in network marketing. But it's difficult when you don't have good partners. So, for example, I'm going to run it back. If you're building, you should have a partner that you can bounce off of is going to help you close your money. Because the unfortunate aspect of MLM is when you're talking to somebody that you know, they know you, but they don't trust you. They don't trust business acumen, just how these things go. And so you need another person to edify you. But you have to have someone that you can edify so that when you're edifying, or, which, again, some of y'all on the channel. So, again, if you want a more in-depth explanation of what I'm going over right now, go through the videos on this channel. Look up edification in 3 ways and whatnot. And like I said, some people poo-poo this kind of stuff because they're not professionals. They're not good business partners. Professionals embrace what I'm sharing right now because this works. So you edify a third party, someone that they don't really know. And what it's doing is you're building respect up for this person to where they can now come in and talk to your prospect in such a way to where your prospect is going to be more open to what they have to say and build respect for you. Now makes it easier for you to work with your own prospect. This is a prospect. This is a process. Now, what happens all too often in network marketing is, and this happened to me a lot, especially with the kind, who I just described with the lack of morals. This was one of my main frustrations with him in our first company, is I would build the respect to come in and expose my money. He didn't have the knowledge to share that same level of for me. His edification game was always trash. One day we actually got into a fight about that, and I told him, I said, "Man, your edification game has always been trash." And he got kind of defensive. "Oh man, what you mean? I always edify you and all that type of stuff." It's like, man, and this is one of those challenges again, because people get defensive. I need business partners that can look at themselves and say, you know what, I do need to get better at that. Thank you for pointing that out. But that's not what you get on some defending what they're doing and not improving what they're doing. They just make excuses and make it seem like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I meet so many people who are like that. I've had so many business partners like that, and I'm just giving a couple of examples that y'all have already heard because I don't want to continue talking about every single person. Like I said, this goes on too often, and so I get why people back up from move into real estate or move into a business of their own. But even then, we still end up having to do business with others. And that's always where the challenges lie, you guys, because finding good business partners, finding other people to take care of business, it's so difficult out here. I don't understand what is happening in our society or in our world where there are so many people who just don't take care of no business. You know, um, my business partner for the one MLM system, good dude, but like I've talked about again on this channel, I feel like the cat was sort of torn between us building a business, but also still trying to keep wifey happy. And wifey wasn't on board with what we were talking about, so it was a constant. I'm pushing team over company, and my business partner, the right hand man, is pushing company. It's a mixed message. It's not a unified message for the team. So it was very difficult to build top networkers group because, again, past business partnerships, you guys. And, some of y'all have seen, I made a couple videos now the last few months, and I'm still looking for some partners. And this happens to almost too many people within MLM. We have a tough time finding other people to build with. And in a model like this, where it's about people and people working together and all these kinds of things, it becomes extremely difficult to be as successful as we know is possible, because it's so hard to find the right people to build with. And so again, I'm sharing this because I know other people may be going through it as well, and I just want you to understand that um, you have to keep pushing, because this is where I'm at with it now. And I'm not, again, I'm not getting into everything that I'm doing, but I've got some business, projects that I'm working on, that I'm building, and yet I continue to run into similar situations with bad business partners, and it just makes me have to continue to reevaluate and look for another way. And that's what I want to encourage all of you out there listening. Keep looking for other ways. Keep looking for alternatives. Keep thinking through what you're doing. Don't settle. But whatever you do, don't quit. Because quitters never ever win. And winners never quit. Watching Top Networkers Group. I'll see you guys at the top.